Staggered, old boy. Marvellous news.
Well done, Mr. Copeland.
It must be the first time, I should think.
Yes, I would have thought so, yes.
The first man in this hospital to get a painting in the Royal Academy.
Actually, I meant the first one to paint anything. I'm thinking we might have a bit of a celebration.
Booze up? Oh, yes, I'd say.
Nothing big, mind you, just a few of us. You, me, Simon's sister, Jonathan, Joyce.
Oh, fine. Absolutely.
Sheila Sabatini. Oh, fine.
Yes.
Well, I can't really not ask her.
No.
She won't come.
Oh, well, in that case, I think you should ask.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. All right, Mr. Bailey. All finished. Everything's fine.
It's hard to believe, frankly. I mean, the man's actually got a painting at the Royal Academy.
I didn't know Neil Copeland could paint.
Well, of course, I say painting. Word has it he copied it out of a Beano annual.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's one of those modern things, apparently, all cartoons and baked bean tins.
I used to like the Beano. This is going to be like shifting Moby Dick.
Far be it for me to belittle his achievement, but if he got in on merit, then I am a Dutch person. More like a part payment for a nose job on one of the judge's wives.
Neil Copeland doesn't do nose jobs. He's not a plastic surgeon.
Well, if they've accepted one of his daubs, I don't suppose it matters. I dare say cubist nostrils are all the rage in that neck of the woods.
Oh, come on. All hands to the pump.
You know, nurses really shouldn't have to do this sort of thing.
90% of a nurse's job is doing what nurses shouldn't do. The trouble is nobody knows who does do it, because every time it needs doing, somebody just grabs a nurse.
How do you expect women to do this?
I didn't say couldn't, I said shouldn't. Lift.
Right, 1, 2, 3. Chin up. And I'll be wanting his blood pressure every 15 minutes. I'll see him in recovery.
Okay.
What did you read when you were a girl? Well, I got the Beano. What did you get?
Telegraph.
Not serious.
Perfectly. Why?
Well, it's hardly a bundle of laughs for a 10-year-old.
I don't believe in trivial pastimes. I never did. And as for all that juvenile rubbish on TV, if one is a lover of serious reporting, then the fact that Ragtag and Bobtail have been threatened by a ferret leaves one stone cold.
I'd have been awake for nights.
Now, if they got myxomatosis, then I might have watched.
Always been so dry.
Was that how you see me?
Well, not until now. Sounds like you grew up in the Bodleian Library.
I've always been ambitious.
But you must have had some fun sometimes.
Well, it depends what you mean by fun. If you mean witty repartee over a bottle of Lambrusco, yes, of course. If you mean standing in a fountain in Trafalgar Square waving a pair of knickers, then I'm afraid not. You have, presumably?
Not knickers, no.
Why is it that people always equate youth with the brain of a chipmunk and the license to vomit round the capitals of Europe? At the age of 8, Mozart was bashing out sonatas. Now the best anyone can manage is a telephone kiosk.
I only meant harmless pranks.
Well, I'm sorry. The way to success lies through diligence and abstinence, not, as some people think, intemperance, flatulence, and Terence Trent D'Arby. What do you mean, not knickers?
It's not a big do. It's just a few drinks after work.
I'm sorry, I've got a long list tomorrow. And I think the surgeon at least should be awake for it.
Sheila.
Besides, nobody in this place ever goes for a few drinks. Hope Win alone could drain the Everglades.
So don't drink, just turn up. This wouldn't be sour grapes, would it?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. If Neil Copeland's going to be hung in the Royal Academy, I couldn't be more pleased. I'd have settled for 10 yards of rope slung over an oak tree.
Then come along.
No, I don't want to.
You'll enjoy yourself.
I don't want to enjoy myself. I enjoyed myself at Hope Wynn's birthday and I was bored stiff. Oh, Clarice, I've got those pills for your back. Remind me.
Sheila?
Yes?
Sabatini?
Yes?
My God, I thought it was. Sheila Sabatini, I said. And then I thought, what's she doing here? And then I said, well, she's got a white coat, so she's either a visiting cricket umpire or a doctor. So I plumped for doctor. You're not telling me you're a doctor.
I'm sorry, I'm not...
Sam.
Peckinpah?
Eldridge. Sammy Eldridge. My God, she says. Sammy Eldridge. Well, I'm blowed.
Sammy
Hello? Someone call?
Good Lord, Sammy Eldridge, how are you?
Terrific.
Oh, yes, of course. Stupid question. Is it serious?
Well, apparently I'm dying. Mind you, if I hook one of these students, it'll have to be postponed, even if it kills me.
What do you mean, dying? Dying of what?
Oh, some big word. Quite impressive, really. I think if one is going to die, one should try to die of something one can't remember. That's the beauty of modern medicine. They keep giving all the boring diseases new names. The net result being one's almost proud to have been selected to have one.
Are you serious? Who told you?
Oh, everybody! I've been diagnosed senseless. The contours of my body are known to more men than the circuitry of a starter motor. Only about 1% found it more interesting. Funny, really. In the old days, I used to be quite modest. Now you only have to say doctor, and I'm flinging undies around like it's sale day at Dorothy Perkins.
Would you be serious just for 1 minute?
Why?
Well, it's difficult. I'm trying to adjust. Well, you don't just go up to an old friend, tell them you're dying, and expect them to treat it like an episode of Whoop's Apocalypse.
Of course, if you want to die, be my guest. Everyone else is. Plans are well in advance to build a breakwater around my mother.
You're everywhere. It's time for your scan.
Now look, I informed my secretary I was going talent spotting round the men's ward till 1:30. Until then, I am out to anyone who hasn't at least dropped his drawers in a Levi ad. Honestly, I don't mind taking my illness elsewhere. Do you like grapes?
Yes, quite.
Thank God for that. Why is it when someone's ill, the first thing everyone does is hurtle round a fruit shop? When that door opens at visiting time, all you can see is great barrel loads of jaffas being hauled up the gangway.
What? You, that's what. Do you know I haven't got a word in edgeways for the last 10 minutes? You go on like you're delivering the half-time scores on grandstand.
This place is heaven as far as I'm concerned. No one interrupts. They say, well, all the time she's talking, she's not thinking, and if she starts thinking, she'll burst into tears.
Will you?
I don't know, I haven't thought about it. Anyway, I'm on a time limit. If I should suddenly kick the bucket and then remember something I wanted to say, let me tell you, harps are going to be flying around heaven like someone's blown up an ice Stedford. Besides, I'm trying to cheer you up.
If you're the one that's ill.
Exactly. So why is it everyone sits there with a face like the radiator grill of a Morris Minor?
Thank you very much.
Well, it's true.
I beg your pardon, I do not spend £30 a month on makeup to look like I'm fresh up from Dagenham.
My dear, Barbara Streisand spends 10 times that to look like a Volkswagen Beetle. All I want is for people to come in here and behave like they do normally. And what do I get? The cast of Little House on the Prairie looking like their crops failed. Fancy you being a doctor.
Well, you knew I was studying medicine. I'm a surgeon now, actually.
Famous?
Compared to a Tyrolean goat herd, yes.
Don't give me that, all surgeons are famous.
Oh, well, this one isn't, I'm sorry. I'm not even particularly popular with the few people that do know me.
Why?
They're mostly idiots, frankly.
You are a real surgeon.
What?
Well, you're not a vet or something. I mean, I can understand vets not being popular. Anyone who could do that to a tomcat can't expect it.
Of course I'm not.
Then why aren't you popular?
Yeah, I'm just not. It takes too much effort. I need all my concentration for work.
Don't you mind?
Not much I can do about it, really. Listen, I'm sorry, I can't stop for long.
Oh, well, actually, I'm so glad you said that. Neither can I. What? Between you and me, there's this Australian on Keating ward. Broken his arm, fortunately. It's all I can do to fight off the other one.
You can't go wandering round the hospital with some temporarily impaired swagman.
I'm not. We're going out for a pizza. Now, look, I'm normally here between 4 or 5 o'clock. Any problems, just leave a message at the main door for Dr. Eldridge. Or is it Professor Eldridge this week? No, Dr. Eldridge. They all know me. Incidentally, the hall porter's got something wrong with his foot. I've had a glance, but if you want my opinion, it's psychosomatic. The rest of him's so knackered, he's trying to concentrate attention on floor level. Bye, mustache.
Sammy? Going for a pizza.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, if somebody's told us seriously ill but they feel okay, perhaps it just doesn't sink in.
That's just it. I think it has sunk in. The trouble is, there's so much else going on in there, it's almost certainly got lost. My dear, she says to me, if they're expecting love story, I'll need at least 4 hours with Ryan O'Neill.
Well, if she can laugh at it, surely you ought to be pleased. Don't forget to get that signed.
I can't. I mean, what do you say to somebody who says she's only worried about post-mortal depression?
She sounds like fun. Who is she, anyway? An old school friend?
truth is, I hardly knew her. When I was at medical school, Raymo and I had a flat and her family lived upstairs with a herd of wildebeest. What? That's what it sounded like.
No, really, God strike me down if I tell a lie. Well, of course, Sheila, being Sheila, having 3 men on the go was like a bad week. I mean, 4 was minimum in those days. She climbs up the drain pipe because she knows all Italians sleep in the bath. And she... Hello. Bye, everyone. Mustache.
Sammy!
They loved it. You're going to be the talk of the town. Popular. My God, they'll build statues.
Morning.
You still angry with me?
Well, not really, no. I've had a day to calm down. I've taken a few deep breaths, stroked the cat, selected 8 records and a suitably remote island in Malaysia.
You know what your trouble is, don't you?
Yes, the instructions for the microwave don't cover sticking one's head in it.
You take everything too seriously.
Sammy, do you know what those people are saying about me right now down in that theatre?
What?
I don't know. And God willing, I will be run down by a runaway horse fox before I find out. I wouldn't even mind if what you said was true, but it was a pack of lies from beginning to end.
Like I said, too serious.
Why?
Sheila, when did you get dumped by your husband?
What?
When?
I didn't get dumped. I left him. It just happened the house belonged to me, so when I left, he was the one that had to leave.
Well, a woman in your position ought to be making the most of it, living it up. As far as I can see, all you ever think about is work.
I enjoy myself.
How?
I rent videos.
Oh, well. Life's just one long wackaroony, then.
I'm just not the sort of person who enjoys going out every night and coming back in a haze of Paco Rabanne. I enjoy my privacy.
Sheila, even a nun gets snogged in the sound of music. Have you had a good look around that operating theatre?
Yes, why?
It's full of men.
And a nose bag is full of oats, so?
Well, you made the comparison. Did they ever ask you out?
Sometimes, of course.
And what do you say?
Not even if we ate in separate restaurants.
Why?
Just because I'm a woman, it doesn't mean I'm up for grabs. I don't need a man.
I didn't say you needed a man, not permanently. This is the 80s. You can get disposable ones.
I'm perfectly happy on my own. I have my work, people respect me.
All right.
Isn't that enough?
I don't know. Sheila, don't you ever just let go?
Of what?
Everything.
How do you mean?
Let go. Do something stupid just for the sake of it.
Oh, yes, of course.
When?
All the time.
Go on, then.
Pardon?
Something really stupid.
What, now?
Yes, go on.
No, I can't be stupid just like that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I can.
Go on, then. No, not that! Oh! No, it's a false alarm. It's all right. It's all right. Only a false alarm, please. What's going on? Jonathan, do you think I'm boring?
No.
Thank you.
Mind you, I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
Why?
Well, the word is I'm only slightly more exciting than a herbaceous border.
Nonsense.
You don't agree?
Not at all. Besides, I find shrubbery quite interesting.
That's a nice thing to say.
All the same, what do other people say about me?
I don't know.
Well, they must say something. I mean, do they think that I'm standoffish or cold or... I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
You mean they don't say anything? They don't even discuss me?
Oh, yes, of course they do.
Well, what do they say?
I don't know. I don't listen. I don't bother with idle tittle-tattle.
No.
I don't think it's right. Not where friends are concerned.
No, quite.
Of course, sometimes you overhear things without meaning to.
Like what?
Things?
What things?
Things. Just things. I don't know.
Jonathan, forget what I said earlier on. Quite frankly, you make a herbaceous boarder look like Sean Connery. You don't think I'm approachable?
But you can be. On a good day, I expect.
I'm a consultant surgeon. I have to be approachable to be consulted.
Well, people do tend to approach with caution.
How do you mean?
From behind. In a flak jacket, holding a dustbin lid. Well, it doesn't matter. That's your style. It gets results.
Are you telling me people don't like me?
Of course they do. I do. Jonathan does. Oh, everyone does. I mean, they might moan now and again. That awkward, stuck-up bitch Sabatini. But I get that. I mean, it's the normal male reaction to a woman who can do more than boil underpants.
Do you think I take life too seriously?
Sometimes. Why?
Look, there's Sammy up on that ward, seriously ill, and she is having a whale of a time. And here's me, perfectly healthy, and people refuse to come near me without great lumps of protective hardware.
Oh, it's not that bad. Anyway, I'm sure you do all kinds of things when you get home.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. Have fun.
Is that what you do?
Of course not. I've got a husband. I boil underpants. Look, Sheila, you can't have everything. You're a first-rate surgeon. You're elegant, cultured, educated. What more do you want?
Do something stupid.
Pardon?
Do something stupid. Just for the sake of it, anything.
Now?
Yes, go on, now. That is exactly what I'm talking about. If I sat here for 24 hours, it would never have occurred to me to eat a carnation.
My God, and I lose sleep over the gas bill. She's really getting to you, isn't she?
Oh, it isn't just her. It's everyone. They all say the same. The way I behave, you'd think I grew up in the Bodleian Library. When people look at me, all they see is a professional woman. No doubts, no frills. I'm as bland as a pot noodle. If I died tomorrow, they'd bury me in a filing cabinet.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Good weekend?
Yes, I think so.
Not bad.
Well, I must say it was awfully nice of you to go along and see the old, masterpiece in its proper setting.
Glad to, old boy.
Right.
Don't mention it.
What did you think?
Well, of course, I don't know much about painting.
None of us does.
But I thought it was quite stunning.
Really?
God, yes. Stunning.
Yeah, I mean, all that colour.
On one canvas.
Quite remarkable.
No, I wouldn't go as far as that.
No, really, old boy. Absolute pleasure to look at. Big things in the offing, I'd say.
Did you know that Sheila Sabatini turned up after you left?
She did.
Yes. Didn't say much. Mind you, I think she liked it.
I'm sure she did. Quite remarkably beautiful.
Oh, quite.
Right, well, must get on.
Did you see it?
A pile of crap.
Absolutely.
Oh, Jonathan, have you seen Sheila?
Yeah? Why?
I just wanted to warn you. Have you got a minute? Yeah, come in. I think you ought to be careful with her for a while.
I'm always careful. That's why we get on. She talks for half an hour, I say yes, and she says I make more sense than any man she's ever known.
No, I mean really careful. I think she's going through some kind of crisis.
What, you mean,
What?
you know, women's problems?
Oh my God, it's worse than that. It's life problems. It's why are we all here problems. What's the point of it all problems?
Sheila's not like that.
Have you ever sat down and talked to her?
Oh, no, not really. Like I said, I've sat down with her. That's normally as far as my contribution goes.
Now look, she may give the impression of being a hard-nosed Amazon, but underneath, you take my word for it, she's a seething mass of insecurities. Sheila? No, I don't want to go over the top. Maybe it's just a passing cloud, but I think you ought to be careful. What with the marriage breakup and then this friend of hers being ill, it just seems to have knocked her flat. She was almost in tears on Friday.
What does it look like?
A hippo, I suppose.
You suppose? Mr. Copeland is standing here with the biggest armful of prime hippo you have ever seen in your life, and you say you suppose it's a hippo?
No, I mean, what's it for?
It's not for anything. It is an hippopotamus. It's good enough for him. Why should you worry?
Right.
You see, I just felt like going out and doing something just utterly stupid.
Well, I don't want to be a wet blanket, but I don't think it's stupid at all.
Well, in the end, neither did I. So I phoned up the Royal Academy and I bought your painting. Have you seen it? It really is quite stunningly colourful.
Yes, I know.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I really must dash. Mwah.
She bought my painting.
Crisis over?
Now, don't make a mess on Clarice's floor. Come on. Hello. Now, are you ready? Come to Mum. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh, my God. Sammy?
Last night, she went downhill over the weekend. I'm sorry.
Copeland, old boy, could I speak to you urgently? I've got a bit of a problem about my